Twitch alive. What up, Twitch? What it say on there? We are not talking about today. Yeah. And YouTube. Because this goes to YouTube as well. But whatever it says on there, if it says Sierra and Russell, we're not talking about that. We are going to get into what we're talking about, so bear with me, Twitch. I'm just waiting for these slow Instagram folks to catch up. And YouTube. And then we'll get into today's topic for today. Hope everyone is having a wonderful... Today's Tuesday already. Where is the time going? I'm waiting for these folks on Instagram to get caught up unless I've been, on IG jail. What they call that, shadow band on Instagram. I couldn't think of the word. Shadow band. Because I'm on here. And I'm waiting. I'm ready to rock and roll with this topic. What up, 2257? Why are you the first one on here? I was just like, yeah. My Instagram folks moving slow today. I keep pushing the time back. We still get later and later, but it's all good. Because I know eventually we'll catch up. Okay. What up, Healing Hurt Ministries? I had another person on here, but they hopped off. Hi, honey. How are you today? Like I said, I'm waiting for some more folks on Twitch. I'm waiting for some more folks to hop on, and then we'll get into today's topic today. But some serious business we got to talk about today. I don't know if you guys saw of that lynching that occurred in Mississippi, but yeah, child. As loud as we are for other things, we need to be just as loud as for this, because this absolutely makes no sense. Bless, honey, enjoying life as you should, boo. I thank you so much for always showing your support, your love, and your support. Thank you so much. I guess we'll get into it. And like I said, the rest of the folks can catch up. Amanda Seales. I'm going to play a clip from her because I don't know the full extent of this story. I just know his name was Trey Reed. He was going to... What was it? I don't think I did that part. But I can pull it up. The 22-year-old that was lynched. They're calling it a lynching. I believe it was at Delta, Mississippi, something like that. But let me pull it up so I get all of the details. I saw this story last night and I was just like, wow. Yes, so Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. University police reported the discovery yesterday, although officials have confirmed the discovery. The circumstances surrounding Reed's death have not fully been released. The incident draws disturbing parallels to historical lynchings that occurred frequently in Mississippi. But this is what Amanda Seales had to say about what happened. Let me bring it back here for you. Here we go. And then let me unmute her. It won't let me do two things at once. Or I don't know how to do two things at once. Here we go. Do it again. Here we go. Here's Amanda
The body
Seales.
of a young black man named Trey Reed, a 21-year-old student at the predominantly white Delta State College in Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree, his arm broken and his leg broken. We should all be furious. And I don't mean all black people. I mean anybody who has desired a semblance of civility and humanity in this country. However, I want you to know that there are forces at work that want to draw you out, that want to ensnare you with your own righteous rage so that they can be given reason to entrap you.
All right, that was a little bit of what Amanda Seales, but for my new folks that just hopped on here, we are definitely talking about the lynching that took place at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi, unaliving Trey Reed. They found him lynched from a tree, and that was Amanda Seales explaining how outraged we all should be, not just the black community. Every last one of us should be. When I say that I have barely seen any of, especially, I'm not gonna call them out by name, but I'm gonna call them out, especially some of these black outlets that report black news, because baby, y'all ran with that other story. Every day was something different. I only saw this story one time, and I'm trying to figure out why this is not being made a bigger deal. This boy was unalive. He was lynched, hanging from a tree. Here we go. And Delta State University. Now, what up, Super Pat? From what I think Amanda said, I believe this is at a prominently white school, if I'm not mistaken. Super Pat, we are talking about today the lynching that occurred at Delta State University, unaliving Trey Reed. He was found lynched from a tree. I'm going to play Amanda Seales once again because she breaks it down. Again, I don't know the full extent of this story as the details are very sketchy. So here we go.
Yeah, the young black man named Trey Reed, a 21-year-old student at the predominantly white Delta State College in Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree, his arm broken and his leg broken. We should all be furious.
Wait, Pat, you said that's your nephew? He played football there? That was your nephew, Pat? I'm just trying to confirm that that's what you said, that this young man, this 21-year-old man that was unalive, found lynching from trees, your nephew? Okay, I just want to make that, and then we'll go back to Amanda Says, what up, baby Brock? Of course, you know what we're talking about today, what we're on, okay? The lynching that occurred at Delta State University, a predominantly white school. Trey Reed was found lynched from a tree. I believe Amanda said with his arms and legs broken. I'm going to go back. I want to play this clip because, again, the details behind this is very sketchy. So she has a little more details than I do. So I want to play the clip.
Yeah, the young black man named Trey Reed, a 21-year-old student at the predominantly white Delta State College in Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree, his arm broken and his leg broken. We should all be furious. And I don't mean all black people. I mean anybody who has desired a semblance of civility and humanity in this country. However, I want you to know that there are forces at work that want to draw you out, that want to ensnare you with your own righteous rage so that they can be given reason to entrap you. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is watching the systems and the forces work. I want you as well to feel your feelings.
Okay. But she basically, broke down basically what I just told you. Mama said they're also saying he committed suicide with a broken arm and leg. And they also said he had some bruisings I believe on the face as well. They're not really giving a lot of details behind what really happened. Hey, Queen. Nah, not the student who was killed. I was my nephew goes to Delta and play. Oh, okay. How is your nephew feeling after, the news broke of this? Hey, Queen, we're talking about the 21-year-old student, Trey Reed. We're going to say his name, Trey Reed, who was unalived at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. He was lynched from a tree. Amanda says, I just played the clip. I'll play it again in a second. But she said that he had a broken arm and a broken leg. I think from reports from what I read too, he has also had some bruising on his face. And now, I guess, according to some people, they're saying that he committed suicide. So that is what we're talking again. Here we go. Queen said they're covering it up. The math ain't matching and we ain't stupid. We ain't never been stupid, Queen. I think that's what they fail to realize. They think we... I keep trying to tell these people we are not our ancestors. If you think we going for the old rhythm and roll, that we... Baby, y'all got another thing coming. Because, yeah, we ain't going out like that. At least I'm not. I'll speak for myself. Queen said exactly. Pat said right. Queen and not. Hey, Curtis, it's a lot of variables. It's, like Queen said, the math is not mathing in this situation. It ain't adding up. Did you see, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but what I am is trying to point attention. Did you see the black girl? I don't know if you saw this video that was circulating on social media. The black girl that got arrested at the college because she was saying, F your dead homie, to the dude that's been all over the news. And I'm trying to figure out why this story right here. Somebody on Twitch just followed me. Let's go, Jessica. I'm great, Jessica. Thank you for joining the chat. We are not talking about Sierra and Russell. I apologize. I got to fix my streaming thing. The stream is good. We are talking about the situation that happened. A 21-year-old Trey Reed was unalived at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. Now, according to reports, they're trying to cover it up. According to reports, allegedly, they're saying that he committed suicide. But I'm like, how sway? When, in fact, he had a broken arm and a broken leg and bruises, they're saying lacerations on his face. But I want y'all to take a listen to what Amanda Seales says. I mean, she basically says basically the same thing that I've been saying, but she covers it a little bit better than I do. Queen said, yep, I saw that case about the young lady too. I hope it's not a situation, Queen, where, because he wasn't feeling a type of way about that situation, and then that situation led to his unaliving and led to his lynching. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm hoping that's not what happened. And again, Delta is a predominantly white school, but here's Amanda Seales and her talking about Trey Reed.
A young black man named Trey Reed, a 21-year-old student at the predominantly white Delta State College in Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree, his arm broken and his leg broken. We should all be furious. And I don't mean all black people. I mean anybody who...
Hey, Tasha.
...has desired a semblance of civility and humanity in this country. However, I want you to know that there are forces at work.
Okay, so she basically just said what I basically said. Baby Barack said same-ish that happened to the black twin brothers that went missing. It was found dead somewhere in the mountains. Claimed to committed suicide. The family ain't go for that. That happened here in Georgia, did that not, Baby Barack? I remember hearing that story on the radio with Tony and Tony, actually. But that happened here in Georgia about the twin boys. They were supposed to be flying out somewhere and then ended up, it wasn't Stone Mountain. It was somewhere and ended up dead, and nobody knows what happened to them. I just started, Jessica, and thank you so much for the follow. We started at 2:00. Yes, I knew I heard that story. Are they saying, were they lynched though? I'm not sure of the circumstances behind that story. Are they trying to say that the twins were lynched? For my new folks that are just joining, we're talking about 21-year-old Trey Reed, who was unalived, found lynched, hanging from a tree at the very school he was attending, a predominantly white school, Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. They're trying to say it was allegedly a suicide, but how could it be a suicide when a leg was broke or arm was broke? Also, they're saying allegedly he had lacerations to his face. Curtis said this stuff always happens, but it's always swept under the rug. Right. And it's going to continue to be swept under the rug because we want to worry about the wrong stuff. Hey, Nationwide Sound Radio. We want to worry about the wrong stuff, you know. And you ain't heard, I saw this story actually last night of 21-year-old Trey Reed. I saw this story last night, and I knew we were going to get on here and talk about it anyway. But then I got up this morning, and I'm like, as much energy as they put into the story that has been in the news circulating for the last couple of days, I need the same energy, and the energy is not there. And especially on my so-called, black social media networks, I really thought that they would get into this and cover this story. I've seen one story so far on all of their, and I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but I've seen one story on all of their social media posts. Just one. I can probably count on probably two hands how many stories I've seen. And no disrespect, but I'm just saying. I just feel like the energy needs the same energy that was put into that needs to be put into this, because what happened to this young man? Because 21 years old, going to school, minding your business, and to be unalive, lynched, hanging from a tree with a broken arm and a leg. I mean, come on. I can't listen to 98.7 and 104 now, but sorry, back to the topic. Oh, thank you so much. I'm not on those stations. I'm not on 98.7 KISS. I'm on KISS 104.1. So in Atlanta. Not sure why you can't listen. Gotta hear that story though. Baby Rock said, when are we gonna start returning the favor and make a few of them disappear? Tired of the constant talk about and no action. I'm over it. I would, but I don't. They'll probably shadow ban me. What up, Chicago? Tonight, Smooth. They'll probably shadow ban me if we get into that. You know what I'm saying? Or turn this off if we get into that part of, okay, what do we need to do to mobilize and to keep this from happening? Because the lynchings, and they haven't stopped. And again, I'm not trying to put that out there, but you did see, and I'm not trying to change the subject either. Hey, Chicago, I'm not trying to change the subject, but you saw the girl that got arrested because she was yelling things at people that were doing visuals at her school. She got arrested for it. The guy that just passed away. Hey, Auntie. The guy that just passed, that's been all over the news. Hey, Blessed by God. That's been all over the news. She got arrested. They're saying 4 different things, but we know why she got arrested. Hey, right, BR7, but we know why she got arrested. Okay, I got some new folks on here. You already know, we are definitely talking about the 21-year-old Trey Reed that was unalived, found lynched, hung from a tree at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi, which is a predominantly white school. The circumstances behind the cases are very sketchy. They're trying to allegedly say that he committed suicide. I'm like, how? When he was found with a broken leg, a broken arm, and lacerations to his face. Queen said, not the guy, just passed away. LOL. It's not the way I gotta say it like that. Because again, Queen, I don't want to lose. And people are losing their jobs for speaking out and even saying anything about the man that just passed away. I have to say it that way. Because I don't want no smoke with none of you folks that are in support of whatever you are in support of. Keep being in support of that. Do you. But I don't need nobody trying to come for me because of how I feel. Or try to get me fired because of how I feel. Yeah, people are getting fired because they're saying things about this. But if I get on here or I got on anywhere and I talked about 21-year-old Trey Reed being lynched, ain't nobody gonna care. Ain't nobody caring. Because how many times have you seen this story today? I'll wait. How many times have you seen this story today? Queen said, oh yeah, losing careers I'm telling you, and I'm talking about some big name people who I'm like, yo. So censorship is happening. Absolutely. Absolutely, auntie. Absolutely. Baby Barack said they won't stop until it starts happening to them. We're not going to elevate until we get an eye for an eye mentality. F the peaceful approach by any means necessary mindset. I get it. You on your young Malcolm-ish. I get it. But Baby Barack, they ain't even going to let us get that riled up like that. They can get as, you see how riled up they are? You cannot get that riled up. Otherwise, your man's gonna bring in the National Guard to shut it down. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, no name, no case. You know, again, I'm not trying, because it was an unfortunate thing. But whoever that pastor was, I forgot what his name, or that clip that's been circulating all over social media. What he said, I forgot how he opened it. Exactly my sentiments on how I feel about that whole situation. Take that up with your mama. But he said exactly how. I'm like, sir, I'm glad somebody finally spoke up and said it. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had that clip of that pastor. But we ain't talking about that today. Curtis said, only on Facebook. No more freedom. No, your freedoms of speech is over. That's over. They've made that very clear. If that hasn't been made clear with this whole stuff that is going on right now, you cannot say there's no more going online and, oh, I don't like, it's no more of that. So you just got to be careful. You just have to watch what you say. I had that very conversation on Saturday with some of my coworkers. What up, 1985? I was like, you know, as much as I want to say how I feel about this situation and how I really feel, I really can't speak how I really feel, because you got people monitoring your stuff for quality assurance so they can run back and tell on you and get you hemmed up on some stupid stuff. All right. So new folks, we're going to circle back. I apologize. We're talking about the 21-year-old student Trey Reed, may he rest in peace, who was found unalived, okay? Lynched is what I'm calling it, from a tree at Delta State University, which is a predominantly white school in Cleveland, Mississippi. Now, what they're trying to say is that he committed suicide. But I'm like, how, Sway? Broken arm, lacerations to the face, okay? Legs broken. How did this young boy, and then how did he get up in the tree? And my question, I'm just asking. So that's what we're on today. Just as loud as we've been about this other situation, we're going to be just as loud. Girl, your earrings look so good. Thank you. I appreciate you, Nora Wilson on Twitch. Just as loud as we need to be, just as loud. And I hear you, Baby Brock, because I'm with you. I want to go there too sometimes with it. But is that the answer? For real though. Queen said freedom of speech with conditions. Now it is. I don't even think it's conditions for who though? For us or for, you know what I'm saying? Because it's freedom of speech with stipulations for them, because they get a little smack on the wrist. Because you remember when I don't remember folks getting fired for speaking out about George Floyd. I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Do y'all remember cops being fired for speaking out and saying things about George? I don't. I remember some people, but it was definitely people on social media. So, Auntie said, no, not true. They can spout their hate online and it's fine. Nora said, pleasures all. Thank you, Nora. I appreciate you. But this is a crazy situation. These are the days that we are now living in. And I'm really hoping, and I'm not trying to put that into the atmosphere, that it's not over what has been happening in the news. Because people are real on edge. People are real sensitive about that subject. Which is why I be like, y'all got it. You got it. And not fitting to argue with nobody about your feelings. Your feelings is your feelings. I could care less. It is what it is. Seems like you are new to the streaming. Nora, yes, I get that question every day. I am. Mama said they did a whole video. Whites fight back. They don't get fired or lose their job. Did they? Send that video to me, Mama. I mean, I can't pull it up right now, but yeah, definitely send me that video. Amanda Seals, I'm going to replay this video for my new folks who just got on here like 1985. If he's still on here. She kind of broke down everything that I just talked about, but I'll replay it anyway. Here we go.
We have a young black man named Trey Reed, a 21-year-old student at the predominantly white Delta State College in Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree, his arm broken and his leg broken. We should all be furious. And I don't mean all black people. I mean anybody who has desired a semblance of civility and humanity in this country. However, I want you to know that there are forces at work.
Okay, well, that was Amanda Seals basically touching on the situation. Thank you, Nora. Touching on the situation that happened with 21-year-old Trey Reed. Again, may he rest in peace. Mr. Awesome said, hey, Lou. Mr. Awesome said, Didi, tell everyone to look at the story on Lee Vana Johnson, a black family army soldier who was found dead in her tent while she was in Iraq. Her death was ruled a suicide, but she was murdered and raped. Her family believed the United States Department of Justice covered it up. Her family still did not get justice. Oh, wow. I had no idea about that story. Thank you, Mr. Awesome. Lavina Johnson, something like that. I'm probably mispronouncing it. But interesting right there. I mean, it's been happening. These lynchings been happening. You know, I mean, they just don't do them as often, but they've been happening. They've been occurring. I thought they passed a lynching law. Did they not? I got to get the residential politician on here, Rashad, because he would know better than I do about that lynching. I think they did in the name of, what's his name, Emmett Till? The Emmett Till lynching. Because I know it took forever and a day for them to get that bill passed. Because I was watching something on, was it, what was her name? The singer girl. Audrey Day played her. She played the heck out of her, too. That was a really good movie. But I remember they were in the process of trying to get that law passed then. And then I thought I saw maybe like a year, maybe or two ago, that it just recently passed. So, I mean, these lynchings have been going on. Again, I'm just hoping, you know, since that's a predominantly white school, that everything that is going on, did you send it to me in my email? Because I'm not going to be able to get it, because I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, I'm sorry. Auntie said, even if they did pass a law, they won't stop it. Thank you, Auntie. That was a good movie. That was a good movie, the Billie Holiday story. When I tell you Billie Holiday was a real one. Billie Holiday was the real one. Guys, she didn't give, she was the real one. She's about that life back in the day. But, they were trying to get that law passed back then. And I know it just recently passed. Because I was like, damn, they still didn't pass that law yet. Like, all these years later. Like, and then you know who got, and no disrespect, you know who got rights before us? My Asian persuasion folks, you know, got they law passed before we did. Queen said, and the laws don't apply to them. No. And that's why I keep saying I'm hoping that situation, you know, because it's a predominantly white college. I keep saying that for a reason. I'm hoping that situation with what's been going on in the news with, oh boy, didn't trickle over And because the day that situation happened, it was like 4 HBCUs that got bomb threats. So that's why I keep putting it out there. I'm hoping that because what's been going on in the news, and they feel like black people have been celebrating. And I'm like, who is over here celebrating, Sway? Who? But they feel like that aggression wasn't taken out in vain on him because, oh, you're black. So you're the closest thing that I can get to because I'm mad about this situation. So let me take it out on you. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with it? Baby Rock said, again, we're the only ones playing by the rules. It's time to get real and start effing them up in droves. We don't have to make a big scene. Snatch and grab their asses on low, even in the score. And Baby Brock, do you see what a fuss they made about the man who been in the news for the last couple of days? Do you even think for a moment that they do? And that man, and again, I don't need y'all coming for me, wasn't even a politician. He was an activist. Do you see what kind of big deal they're making about him? And you think they're going to let that fly? Go on, try to mess with one of them if you want to. Unless it's a Democrat and they won't care. I'm just saying. Queen said, Baby Barack, right. Okay, I'll pull it up. Mama said she sent it to the email. Auntie said, sad truth is, unfortunately, for that young man, nothing will be done. Nora, I live in Atlanta, Nora. Welcome to the chat. Queen said, we are always trying to play by the rules. I know, and it's an unfortunate thing. But, listen, it's an unfortunate thing. I'm not saying we need to continue to play by the rules. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're going to do something, you got to have a plan in place. But, and what I'm saying is, because I'm never scared. But do you see what such a big deal they made about? Imagine if you, I'm just saying. Auntie said they did a news conference today. Shooter charged with 7 felonies. Is that for that other situation with that other man? He's being charged with 7 felonies. I'm surprised that he didn't get the death penalty. Curtis said either eye for an eye or get out and vote. Put some of us in control. But Curtis, even some of us ain't for us. Just cause we how the saying go? Just cause we skin folk don't mean we can vote. Is that how that go? Just cause we skin folk don't mean we can vote. I think that's how that go. So every one of us, prime example, you got some of your very own people on here doing videos talking about you shouldn't be celebrating anybody's death. Intensifying the situation already. We don't need y'all to speak. All you people that think you speak for the black community. Stephen A. Smith. You do not speak for the black community. Stop it. You don't. You've long since gone over to the other side. But yeah. Hold on, Auntie. Let me go down. Auntie said yes. Baby Rock said we need to operate under the radar and decrease their population. I guarantee they will stop because they are feeding off of our fear. I would love to believe that. And that sounds good. At least you trying to figure out. Stephen A. Smith said that black people need to stop celebrating. That's what he said. And again, he don't speak for the black community because again, I'm trying to. And I know Rashad said there were some videos. I didn't see no videos of nobody celebrating. And just because you don't show compassion to something doesn't mean that you're celebrating it. That does not mean you're celebrating it. It just means you ain't got no type of emotions or feelings to it. And you have the right to feel that way. I'm just saying. Where's the emotion and compassion for this 21-year-old that was hung from the tree that was unalived? Where's that compassion? I don't see not near one of these people that have been posting about the other man all week. I ain't seen not one post. Not near one post. I'm just saying. Curtis said either get out or vote or eye for eye. I think I read that. And Baby Rock said, Auntie said to you, Baby Rock, absolutely. And yeah, Stephen A. Smith, he doesn't speak for the black community. I'm sorry. His black card has been long time revoked. In my opinion. You can like him if you want to. He been an old tell it on the mountain. Clarence Thomas, old jigaboo. Okay, I'm done. Curtis said, I didn't celebrate it. He said, I don't give a. So I think that's where the confusion lies. Nobody was celebrating. And that's why I'm saying with this situation here in Mississippi, even though I know Mississippi, and is your boy going to call out the National Guard for this here? It's crime going on in Mississippi. Is you going to call out the National Guard for this one here? Somebody been lynched. So, but I hear you, Curtis. I think there's been some confusion, between celebration and people having empathy and sympathy. And just because people don't have empathy or sympathy don't mean they celebrating something. It's like he said. Some people don't it is what it is. No disrespect. Just probably how some of y'all felt about, not y'all on here, but how folks felt about George Floyd, some of y'all. Oh, well, just another, what did. Probably would do it something anyway. Some of you had no business doing anyway. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that George Floyd, because absolutely, man, he rest in peace. My goodness. What up, the Real Major Beats? Mama said, Curtis, voting is rigged now. Tasha said, I can't stay connected to save my life. I'm sorry, Tasha. I don't know what's going on. What up, the Real Major Beats? Okay, let me bring it back for my new folks on here. We are talking about the lynching. So are they messing with it? Y'all keep getting cut off? Let me know if you can see me. If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. I knew it. Hi. Hefe, welcome. Come on, Hefe. We talk about this lynching going that went down in Mississippi. You want me to invite you on, or you good, sir? Let me know if I'm good though. Okay, Auntie, thank you. Yeah. You leaving out? Huh? You leaving out? Yeah. Okay. Hefe, okay, thank you. You said you leaving out? Okay. What up, Hefe?
Oh, yo.
Okay. Churches? No. I guess so. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Quick lunch break. All right, Efe, we are talking about, did you hear she said up and down, but I keep getting disconnected. What up to the new people on here? We're talking about the lynching that happened. 21-year-old Trey Reed was unalived. Found lynched hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. Did you hear that story, Efe?
Oh, that's
Of course
crazy.
you didn't, because they're not making a big deal about this story. Police discovered him hanging from a tree, but the catch is they're trying to allegedly say it was suicide. Suicide, trying to figure out how when he had a broken arm and a broken leg and lacerations to the face. Amanda Seals had this to say, kind of what I said, but she summed it up a little bit better. Because I don't know the full extent of the story, but take a listen to what she had to say, and then Fa will go in with your comments and how you feel.
Named Trey Reed, a 21-year-old student at the predominantly white Delta State College in Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree, his arm broken and his leg broken. We should all be furious. And I don't mean all Black people. I mean anybody who has desired a semblance of civility and humanity in this country. However, I want you to know that there are forces at work.
Okay. Tamika said from a tree. Are we good? Fa, can you see me? Am I buffering?
Nah, you good.
Okay, because some folks are saying I'm buffering. Curtis says it's the folks because we talking about it. All right. What are your thoughts about this, Fa?
That's the thing. I think it's extremely suspicious and valid for a person to believe that it's a foul play involved when you got a broken arm and a broken leg. That usually points to, you know, I mean, I think that broken word is so that's so lightly used because they can say like a hairline fracture is broken, right? So
Yeah.
I gotta know what to what extent because it would prove it if you snapped your tibia in half, it's like a clean break. I find it hard. I find it's going to be extremely hard to walk yourself up a tree and hang yourself with a broken leg, So I wish I knew a little more details, but hearing broken leg and broken arm alone, right, no matter the severity, is enough for me to say this sounds like foul play.
Yeah.
You go to a predominantly white school. I'm assuming the guy's black, right?
Yes, he's a black boy. Yes.
So I think it's only reasonable to assume there may have been some racial implications without knowing anything more. And I would scream foul play. I am one of the type of guys that like to usually reserve my opinion until I get all of the facts, but I think a broken arm and a broken leg is going to be kind of it's going to have to be some very extremely coincidental circumstances for it not to be, a murder. Somebody murder and hung this man. You know what I mean? And I find it, I just don't see a black man hanging another black man. You know what I mean? So I think
Um,
that's awful.
Fa, what I'm really hoping it's not the situation. Is that because of everything that's been going on in the news as of recently with the guy.
Charlie Kirk.
Right. I'm hoping that it
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
open season on this young boy because, hey, I'm feeling a type of way because I'm seeing how you black people are allegedly responding and I don't like it. So now I'm about to take my frustration out on you and put you up in this tree.
I did not, it's funny, surprisingly, but I did not make that connection. And that is the obvious connection, right? And we know some of them want payback, right?
Yes.
For
Yes.
sure. So, these so-called Christians and, especially so-called Christian nationalists, it seems like a lot of the position is rage and anger. White people are already angry as it is in some cases with us. So, wow. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised. I just thought of a whole scenario. I wouldn't be
Hmm.
surprised if the Charlie Kirk conversation came up and this black man gave some
Yep.
differences in opinion and I hate to speculate because I don't want to rage bait, but I'm gonna give a share of my thoughts what I thought. That's the kind of the scenario that kind of went through my head just now. Like, man, that man might have just said, Charlie Kirk was a rapist. You know what I mean? And they just may have been raped some of them or one of them.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I don't want to put that out there because I know I got some folks. This will go on YouTube. We're speculating. We don't know that to be a fact, and we're hoping that is not the case. Uh, Tamika said so. He did tie a noose. So he tied a noose, climbed a tree with a broken arm and leg, and then tossed himself. That's what I'm trying to make sense of it. 1985 said, yeah, a broken arm and a broken leg is a dead giveaway. He was murdered. Praying for his family. As a father, I couldn't even imagine. I hope they find some details on who did that ish. I hope I'm good, Auntie. You said I froze. Tasha said, ain't no black person going to commit suicide by hanging themselves from a tree. I don't care. I don't care. I don't think the only black people I don't care. I think the only black people that has taken their lives by hanging themselves are incarcerated, especially this young man that had his whole life ahead of him. Tamika said, America is moving in reverse. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going backwards, but the writing has been on the wall. We knew that this was going to eventually come to this place. The person that is in office, love him or hate him, has been spewing hate. He does not care about this country being divided. He even said it himself. So when you have somebody like that in office that gives these Karen and these Kens ammunition, they gonna jump up. So I'm just saying. Mama said they had a black police lieutenant speak to the public. I bet they did to try to de-escalate the situation. Tasha said, "Oh nah, just like that, they blaming HBCUs for that goofy getting popped. I'm blaming every white person for this because it's their history. Isn't that what they tell us?" Chef said, "What did I miss? Hold on, Chef." And Auntie said, "It blows my mind, all the outrage, and the shooter was one of them, and make it make sense." And did you hear? And I'm sorry, we keep going back to this man, but Efe, did you hear when the Utah, I think he was the governor, he got on there and he said, and the FBI, I don't know if he was the head of FBI, but he was a little Indian. I don't know if he was Indian or what nationality. He was brown though. So I was like, okay, they got them a little FBI brown little man doing the leading this. Then the governor got on there and said, "I was hoping it was somebody from another country." Sir, what? This is what I'm saying. These people feel
What?
like they can say whatever comes to their mind. So, you don't say no shit like that. When you got the head of FBI who is not, and apparently is not a white man, dead ass, what they call him, no disrespect, they call y'all sand ninjas. Okay. He looked like a sand ninja. It is what it is. So, and he said, "Oh, I was hoping they was from another country. I'm highly upset that is one of us." I was like, oh my God. But 21
Really should
Trey
have
Reed,
kept to himself.
he should have kept that shit to himself. 21-year-old Trey Reed needs all the attention. If this person, and again, no disrespect, God, God rest the dead, has been in the news on my social media feed for the last few days. This be on the feed because what happened to this young boy? Why was he unalived and found lynched from a tree? What are we doing in Mississippi, Cleveland, Mississippi? So I know we heavy today, FA. Um, Auntie said it blows my mind all the outrage and the shooter was okay. I read that, and yes, he did basically. The governor said that the brown dude behind him, they have no shame. They are bold. Oh no, these they gonna be, and they're getting more bolder. They're getting more bolder, and they're going to continue to get more bolder. Um, and they're giving you examples of we don't we play like Baby Barack said. They're playing by a different set of rules.
But
So.
what was more concerning to me out of what I just heard was through they call it a preliminary investigation, right?
Mhm.
Law enforcement, and that just means an early level investigation. That means just what they can come up with based on maybe the little bit of evidence that they have. If they're already coming to the conclusion that they believe that it was a suicide, that is concerning to me because if all of the things that I hear you just said doesn't point to be self-inflicted. So if they're already early in the investigation, speaking and saying they're leaning towards a suicide, that's not good. I'm just letting y'all know. That means it's going to be 90% likely that they rule this a suicide.
Oh yeah, there's probably not going to be any justice for Trey. Unfortunately, we'll
I
probably.
wonder where was it at? Where I mean, like what
I think it was
literally
off because I'm trying to get like all of the details now. They are
meaning
not.
like in the middle
They
of the
are.
field? Is it somewhere where cameras are around? Was it in a very isolated area? You know what I mean? Remote, isolated area. These are the things. I mean, they got cameras everywhere on everything now. You know
and
what I'm
and
saying?
and the article. Hey, pretty eyes. And the article that I'm reading now, it says no foul play is involved.
See?
You you cannot be kidding me. What do you mean there's no foul play involved? Hey, Free Princess, when if his leg is broken, his arm is broken, what do you mean? And he had
Where's the
last
vehicle? Was he in the vehicle?
no, he was hung from a tree.
No, no, no. I'm saying, like, how did he get to the tree? Like, did he drive himself to the
Oh,
tree? Because I want to see if it was he involved in a car accident.
no. Mississippi is shaking up the choo chilling. Hold on. And phone money, leaving family, friends, community devastated. I'm trying to read this real quick. Because I, like you, I like to get all of the details, and they're trying. I feel like they're trying to cover this situation up. They're, like you said, they're trying to classify it as a suicide, but other people are leaking more information. Now the family hasn't came out and said anything. The only thing that I saw that the family said was to please, take, because I guess people were putting up photos of the boy, Trey, hanging from the tree, and family was asking for the public to please respect their privacy, that this is a difficult time. I don't know how people get photos of this type of stuff, but
No, this is not fair. I'm gonna be honest. I know what I'm about to say is not fair,
go ahead.
but I do is noteworthy. To me, it's noteworthy that they. How long is this? First of all, how old is this story? When did this happen?
No, this happened yesterday. Well, it happened September the 6th. What was today's the 17th? September the 16th is when they found him.
Okay, do find it noteworthy that the family hasn't come out clearly rejected that he was capable of something like this. It would be like, and I'm not saying it's fair because I'm sure they're mourning and all of that, right? But it's somebody in that family, like the brother, the sister, the cousin, the auntie, the uncle, maybe not the mother or the father, but somebody could get themselves together enough to be able to say, hey, listen, I want to make it clear. I know my nephew, and he would never commit suicide. It would be one of the things that would be said, I would assume it would be said immediate, only because of the racial implication that this may cause. You know what I'm saying? This is obviously a black man being lynched. That is going to be that usually is going to put every black person's antennas up, and they're going to that's usually a triggering thing. So I just do find it noteworthy that they haven't come out and at least said, "Hey, listen, we do not believe in any way, or shape, or form that this man, my nephew, our son, our cousin, whoever, would commit suicide."
I don't know because um I'm not sure if you saw that story in Chicago where the baby mama and the baby daddy rolled up on one of the other baby mamas and killed her.
Mhm.
Um, Sister, she tried to speak on the situation. She could not come to words, and this was like she's like, I just found out, and I'm sure they just found out, so they may be lost for loss of words. Everybody deals with grief a little bit differently. So,
Sure, fair. That's a fair. I mean, it's fair. Assume it's been a day.
but
Been a day.
I'm sure they will speak out and say something. Mama said it's the deep south, so no surprise. Um, Auntie said, just like the twin boys who were found dead, no follow up, no justice for them either. And that happened here in Georgia with the two twin boys. They were off to go, I think, go visit a school and then ended up dead on somebody's mountain. And they have yet to find out who did what, when, or where. Mama said people were saying, where are the cameras? How can APs, I don't know what you're trying to say, Chef, retype that. And Mama said maybe they're waiting for a lawyer to speak. And Pat said to you, Mama, that's what I'm thinking. And Chef said, how can a person leg be broken? I'm just saying too. They're, like I said, it seems like they're trying to cover whatever this is up. I'm sure if we go back through the archives, FA, this school probably has maybe a history of racism somewhere down the line. I guarantee it.
I mean, I
Predominantly
think
white
almost every
school.
predominantly white school got that.
Yeah, predominantly white school. I'm sure they have on record black students complaining about being probably harassed or racially profiled by some of, you know, the YTs on campus. Again, I can neither confirm nor deny. I can only sit here and speculate. What up, got you opening? What up, Janice? All right. I'm going to reiterate this. We'll bring this back around. If you're just hopping on, we are talking about 21-year-old Trey Reed, who was found unalive, hanging from a tree. Now, what they're trying to say is that he allegedly committed suicide. That's what they're trying to say. But according to some other reports and outlets out there, they're saying that he had a broken arm, broken leg, and lacerations to his face. So if it's a suicide, how could he have a broken leg and bruises to his face, you know. And like Queen said, the math is not mathing. Somebody has to make it make sense. Because it ain't math. It's not making sense to me. I mean, I'm just not getting it.
It ain't making sense to me either.
Uh, got you open TJ story with the 21-year-old Trey Reed. How are
Yeah,
you?
man, it's so sad, man, and especially for them to write in this report that there's no sign of foul play. But initially, before the even broken leg and a broken arm, they said they found a rope tied around his neck with no sign of foul play. That's a huge sign of foul play.
Right.
Like black, like my indigenous people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see if you was in your house, your room or something, that might be something different. But outside of public, nah, we don't do that type of stuff. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And then like you said, I'm pretty sure if you go back into the archives and that school records, you will find you probably will find some, melanated brothers and sisters that came forward and talking about being harassed at that school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a shame because it's crazy because our pale brothers and sisters, they they're so afraid of what we would do to them if we all united.
Yeah, that's what Rock said.
However, we're not violent by nature. That is not us. We're not violent by nature. That's unless you harming someone within our family, or it's about some, or it's literally about some food, and it's the last day of time between you and me, and I have to choose that thought. Then guess what? Other than that, no, we're not violent by nature. Like
Right.
we as people, we are the kindest, most open-hearted people in the damn world, yo. Like look what happened to all the indigenous people initially letting these punks in for the first place and feeding them. And what
Mm,
you do? Give them all kind of diseases, rape, torture, eat them, all kinds of stuff. Like who does that?
right.
So I guess the question becomes now. All right, we see what it is. We keep talking about this is happening, that's happening, he's doing this, or they want to pass this bill or push that bill. So now the question is like, as a people, what do we do?
Yeah.
Because realistically, we have an opportunity to really step up. Like even like I was just telling somebody today,
It
I
better
was
enough
like,
yet.
What
I
you
was just
said?
telling somebody that
Said it's not better enough yet.
I think it's still
Fortunately, and I say that grudgingly, it's just not better enough yet. Some people ain't we ain't gonna do nothing, and nothing gonna change because that ain't bad enough yet. It ain't
yeah.
bad enough yet.
I mean,
Yeah.
but how bad does it have to get before we
Man, it gotta
decide
be
like, yo, we
extremely
need
bad.
to change?
No, it's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be lynchings once a day, or it's gonna have to happen like that for about a year before anything. Before we actually, I think, Dr. Umar Johnson is not the most popular person right now in the black community, but I will say this, and he did say something that always stuck out to me, and he said, "Black people don't really care about racism. They just want to live comfortably under racism.
Mm,
They living comfortably under racism, they're fine with racism. This is why they don't want to separate. They don't want to do what it takes. So they have to separate from their
mm.
oppressor,
You
because
better
they really
speak,
don't want that. They
speak
just
that.
want to live comfortably under it. And that shit was so true, because for us to actually do something, we would actually have to give up a lot. We would actually have to give up a lot. We would really have to give up the life we know as we know it. We really
Yeah.
have to give it up. And one thing about it, Nick, one thing about some of us, say most of us, we just not gonna do it. We will have to be forced to do it. Honestly, conditions, and I say that grudgingly. I don't say that proudly. I'm saying it will have to get so bad that we will have to be forced to do it. Because until then, we would, as long as we come, we don't mind racism. We just want to be comfortable under it.
I FA. I agree with you on that. We
Yeah,
not
I mean, like
that.
at that point, I had nothing to say negative about it because
Yeah.
that's the honest truth, and that's what we're seeing at this very moment. You know what I'm saying? Like we're seeing it at this very moment. Like you're comfortable and happy with everything that's going on because at this moment you feel you're not too affected and you're comfortable because you still have, oh, I can still go do this, or I got money for this, I can do that, I can do that, I got this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. All those things are materialistic that can go at any given minute. But when it's time for your true life and sovereignty, it have to be so dramatic and drastic that you're gonna be like, yo, enough is enough. Why wait to that point?
Money has taken over our community. You say that for criticism to us, you say that we're not a violent people. Nature, I would agree with that. In nature, we're not a violent people, right? Our nature has never been violence, right? What I will say is though, we have fell in love with money
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the degree that we done sold our soul to money. We really have. I mean, look, every aspect, and let's not be trying to beat up on the women, but just one part of it. The women, everything is about how much money he got, what can he do. Like his value is assessed by money. And then go with the guys. I'm talking about value in the sense of just a man. How you view him as a man is assessed by how much money he has. I
Money
always
just
have to remind I'm telling you, how our women looks at us dictates the direction of our men in often cases because they're going to sell. They're going to do whatever the women are attracted to. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And
right.
then if women say, "Man, we need a nigga with money," then niggas gonna be trying to get that money by any way, shape, or form. That's just that's the power that our women hold. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to beat up the women. I'm trying to connect the fact that men and women, but men, we all fell in love with money. We done sold our souls to money. You know what I mean? Because a man ain't even worth nothing in most cases if he ain't got no money. You know what I mean? The average guy, the average earner used to be considered a king. But average earner should be an Amazon driver. You're, you're
All
you're a
right.
bum.
Let me read some of these comments. We got a lot of them. Hold on. Mama said there has to be some camera somewhere. I said I can't imagine the kid this kid had in his last moments. Pat said, "Mama, he was by the pickleball court, so I don't know if cameras are around for sure." Mama said a broken arm, no less, would be very difficult to hang yourself. Chef said, "Done one, beat him up and hung him." Um, Mama said, "Why would a black person hang themselves? Not something black people do to kill themselves." Hey, OC baby, if you're still on here. Auntie said, "I'm tired." Chef said, "You're right." Auntie said, "We are so welcoming to everyone. Everyone is us." Auntie, I've been we got to be the most loving, forgiving race of people. I swear. Um, Mama said, "Oh, they start killing us publicly, then we will react." Um,
I mean,
I,
how many times? Oh God, I wish you finished that.
no, but I was gonna be. I'm like, but how many times do we got to be slapped in the face and disrespected before we got to get to that point? Before it
That's
started,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like they've been killing us for how many years and centuries and decades?
yeah. I'm with you on
Like
that.
this ain't new. This ain't new.
This lynching thing is definitely not. And FA, the family did respond. I'm gonna read the statement. Hold on one second. Um, Mama said to you, I mean, Auntie said to you, Mama, they killed Floyd publicly. Yes, it sparked something. Now we not all are settling in. Baby Barack said, I have lived long enough to say I ain't comfortable anymore. I'm ready to put in work again, any means necessary. The wealth they allow us to have has made ninjas soft. Sad but true. All right, FA. So I did get a statement. The Reed family, who is this? So the Reed family, stunned with the unspeakable loss, appealed to the public for what compassion. Asia Walls, I think that's how you say her name. Representing the family wrote on Facebook, on behalf of my family, I ask that you please not share that very graphic video, Trey. for some of you, it's information. Even for us, it's a living nightmare. Even, but for us, it's been a living nightmare. At this time, we ask that you keep us in your thoughts and prayers as we navigate through this difficult time. So that was y'all do a y'all still with me?
I mean, but I'm saying like, all right. So let me say this, right? So, as far as our people that have a little bit of paper that can make some big influences, like the Jay-Z's of the world, the Puppies of the world, and so to speak, like that, right? And
Mm,
no, and I'm not saying that they have to, and I'm saying it's not their responsibility either. However, what I am saying is that, like for example, for Puff, right? Puff was cool, regardless of whatever you did. You the butthole for doing what you did. If you did that, whatever. But nothing was going to happen to you until you opened your mouth and publicly said that I'm gonna start funding the new Black Panther Party and create an avenue so that way us as people have a seat at the table. They didn't like that. And then you sued my man from Ciroc. Oh yeah, they was not playing with you. They was
I
trying
mean,
to put
they
you under
even
that bus.
are under some smoke right now because they was just hobnobbing with Ivanka Trump. So people mad at
Right. Like
um,
now Jay and Beyonce over there eating dinner with Ivanka and Kushner.
yeah. So people mad at them right now. But here's another thing talking about this info. Hold on.
Let's not mince words. This is Trey Reed, a 21-year-old Black college student from Grenada who attended Delta State University. On Monday morning at about 7:05 a.m., the body was found hanging from a tree in the middle of campus near the pickleball courts. Now, the college canceled its centennial celebrations and closed off campus, and they have also offered counseling. And despite the fact that Black people do not lynch themselves, police stated that there was no foul play suspected and ruled it a suicide, though an autopsy is still pending. We absolutely cannot allow to sweep this under the rug. We demand full transparency. Where are the cameras? Where's the footage? This is the middle of. And now, along with demanding for this transparency, let's also ensure that we respect the family's privacy and not share any graphic videos on social media that are circulating. We send all of our love to
Okay.
Trey.
So was that a little better, FA?
Say that one more time.
Was that a little bit of better?
What
Was
up,
that?
y'all? What up, y'all? How y'all feeling out
What's
here?
up, big dog? That's my guy.
Uh, yes, sir.
Was that a little bit a better understanding of what happened? Now we know he was found lynched on camera by a pickleball field. Because who the F plays pickleball? Okay, then. Now I'm just saying. Because
Hey
who
I'm gonna
plays
man,
I'm gonna just be honest. My
look, man.
suspicion hasn't
right?
changed,
Play
right?
pickleball?
My suspicion level hasn't changed on it not being a suicide. I just honestly, I can't. I do find it um noteworthy that the family hasn't dismissed this like
These
quickly.
allegations.
Right, that they didn't say, "Hey, listen, I just know black folk, and y'all speaking for black folk as a whole, right? And most of the time, y'all speaking about the culture of black people, and the
Right.
culture of black people is vocal, okay? And they're gonna say something immediately. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Somebody, the auntie, somebody gonna say, maybe not the person dealing with the mama, but somebody gonna say that boy is never shown. I know he didn't kill it. I know. I feel comfortable in saying that if they found me lynched, and I hate to do this, but somebody they would say, I know he didn't do that. I know he wouldn't do that to himself. Like that would, and I'm just saying, this is what's really, and the police already saying that ruling it a suicide. They're doing, and it's only been a day. It's like, you know what I'm saying? They've done a day's worth of investigation.
I mean,
Um,
but not
it's
to
it's
cut
just
you off.
noteworthy to me. You know what I mean? And to me, it lets me. I know what the outcome is going to be. If they're already saying that it's a suicide, leaning towards suicide, it's going to be considered a suicide. Trust me when I tell you that. This is me telling you. I know how this goes. This is going to be ruled a suicide. They would never. Well, in most cases, they would never go out and say we're leaning towards a suicide before they already know that that's what they're gonna say. They
Yeah.
actually just throwing it out there, so y'all can be prepared for what we really gonna say tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? What we really gonna say tomorrow? They checking the temperature. They want to make sure people are a little bit welcome to the idea because obviously anybody with a brain couldn't know that this is going to cause some racial tension with a black man being lynched in a predominantly white school or area or whatever. So I would like for the family to somebody in the family just like in listen, death is never easy, just like just and I say this wholeheartedly, but just like when someone dies, somebody got to plan the funeral. Everybody can't mourn. Like somebody's going to have to be the strong one and get up there and get stuff done, and that's kind of what I'm expecting. I want someone to say, I know he didn't commit suicide. I know he would never do nothing like that because what if he did? You understand what I'm saying?
But why would
Maybe what if the silence is saying something? What if them
that?
not saying anything about it is saying something?
But
I
why would
mean,
he?
I get that too, but you got a broken arm and a leg, and you was found still hung. That it's impossible.
No, we gotta remember this too, brother. Honestly, broken doesn't mean completely broken. A break, they'll consider a break a hairline fracture. You can have a hairline fracture and not even know it. You know that you can have so this is why I say they play on words. You got to be careful because they didn't say a complete break. You see what I'm
Right? They say
saying?
right,
They
right, right,
they didn't say a fracture. They talk very, you got to just know how they play with words.
right, right.
Hold on. I'm the new black.
Breaking out
They,
now. You are breaking out now. Okay, we can hear you.
uh,
I can't hear nothing you saying.
yeah, got
Nothing.
put me. Put,
I can't hear you. I catch every other word like a
No, no,
robot.
brother. Put your phone on mute. Mute your mic.
Uh,
Mute your mic.
yeah, because there we go. Yeah, because I was getting his background noise. All right, so Auntie said they would do the new Panther Party like they did the old one, killing, planting black informants in the ranks. It would be our own people that would take us out too, because yeah, it's like they say, money. We have sold our souls for money. Auntie said the government destroyed the Panther Party. Mama said, "Where's the camera footage?" Auntie said, "But the government lets the supremacists, neo Nazis, the Christian nationalists, Proud Boys run free." Yeah. Auntie said, "But why hanging? I heard they were from Haiti." Can't hear you, Dee Dee. Okay, I don't know what happened. Efe, you still there?
Yeah, I mean, I just muted the mic.
Okay, because they said they can't hear me, so I don't know.
No, that was
Uh,
from earlier.
okay, yeah, because all right. I don't know. I mean, I'm like you. We're gonna talk about this story because okay, they said they can't hear. Y'all can't hear? If they can hear me, why ain't
That's what
nobody?
I want to know. This is what I want to know. How do they know he got a broken bone? How do they know he got a broken leg and a broken arm? How do they know that without the autopsy?
I know you was gonna go there. I
They
knew
know
you.
that.
I knew you was gonna go there because I feel like they just dropped this autopsy report and the coroner said there was no foul play involved. So
Oh, man. There's no foul exactly, and I don't know. Of course, first of all, you can't get a autopsy in a day. Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. I'm from a major city, so it may take longer in a major city than where they at, and it may not be as many cases. There's a lot more people dying in major cities, though they might be a little more backed up. So I'll take that back. I don't know if you can do it in a day. I know in DC you ain't getting no autopsy in a day. I can guarantee you that. Okay, 100. It's gonna take you like 2 weeks before you get anything back, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That's moving fast. They tell you 90 days. They tell you 90 days before they can know the full autopsy.
well, they said no foul play was involved. So how did they come to that conclusion that fast?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Just from a little bit of experience that I have, I know that they're gonna look at the ground.
So they're gonna look for ladder marks. They're gonna look for something that will require, because to get somebody hung, you gotta kind of carry them up there, or you gotta pull the branch down. You see what I mean? But the branch got to be strong enough to be able to pull an adult male off his feet. You know what I mean? If it's that strong, likely you can't pull the branch down. So you're gonna have to walk them up the branch. So they're gonna be looking for like feet and grip marks from ladders to be able to get them up there, or they're gonna look for tire tracks, right? Maybe a car rolled into the grass and they walked them over top of the car and hung. Like it's gonna be a lot of different. So if there's no tire marks, if there's no grip mark, how did he get up the tree? He didn't. They didn't magically put him up there. You know what
Well,
I'm
how
saying? But
tree?
then, or they would have to have like multiple shoe marks, like you know what I mean. It would show that there's multiple different people there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um,
Like you can't. So go ahead.
hold on, let me read some of these. I got you open to you could talk. Just mute yourself when you finish talking. Auntie said maybe by moving him, they broke some of his limbs. Um,
I can see
Auntie,
that.
Mama said so. We need a bunch of people to witness him hanging himself to say it was a suicide. And she said the coroner has not spoken yet. And Auntie said, but the broken leg arm wouldn't that have been noticeable when they moved him to stretcher? Uh,
Exactly.
is there a note? And is the Pope 49? What's up? I didn't see a note. And if Trey Reed was suicidal, wouldn't he have told somebody in his family? I'm just saying.
Not all the time.
Or told
Or,
a friend.
Not necessarily. Or if he was suicidal, though, I'm pretty sure there would have been some type of traces of him trying this at another time. This wouldn't
Right.
have been the first time. And I'm gonna try and I'm gonna succeed. No, he
or
probably would have tried a couple of times,
how we
and
know
they
it didn't
would.
happen though? How we know he hasn't tried? Because the family not speaking out yet.
That's true too.
Because he could have tried. You know what I mean? On
That's true.
multiple. I mean, I'm saying I know people that have committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? And some case the case I'm talking about, it was the first time he was dealing with depression, and the first time he went through it, he committed. It wasn't a history, but this particular person did leave a letter, so it
I,
was
they didn't they did not warn any. They didn't tell anybody. Usually, somebody suicidal is they're
they
gonna tell.
tell somebody. Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying is
Yeah.
they not speaking up. What if you did tell somebody and that person is not speaking
Well,
up
right
yet?
now they're grieving.
I agree.
I
I mean, wouldn't have, like you said, wouldn't most. I don't know. I just know one person that I know that did this to themselves when I was younger, and he left a note
Yeah. Yeah.
explaining to why, the reason and why, and what was going on in his mental, or whatever the case may be. But that brother left a note, and several times that I've seen where this has happened is most times, 9 times out of 10, a note somewhere found to it, so that way this person now explain what they couldn't say verbally at whatever given moment.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get in that phone. They're gonna have to get in his phone, his cell phone.
as much racket and noise that they made about this one over here for the last couple of days with his ass being in the news. I need the FBI. I need the CIA. I need every investigation bureau in Cleveland, Mississippi, because we need to know what happened to Trey Reed. We need to
I
know.
agree.
I'm just
I agree.
saying, if you made a big deal about this man who wasn't, and no disrespect, I got to keep saying that because I don't need y'all coming for me, who wasn't a politician. He was an activist. And we over here throwing parades and visuals. Oh no, 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 no. I need that same energy.
Flags at half mast, all types of stuff, man.
Yeah. I need that
Well, I
same.
need y'all to remember, and this is the part where you just need to know. You stop living in the past.
You were cutting out.
Okay, why are you expecting a group of people to treat you the same way they treat one of their own? There's a reason why the flag is at half mast for him. There's a reason why it's a bunch of rallies because it was one of their own. You think why would they do that? They're not going to do that for somebody that's not one of their own.
Hmm. I know. No, I understand.
I mean, look at that Democrat that got killed in her house with her
Right.
husband.
Him.
Nothing. He didn't even make a phone call to be like. He was like, "What's the point? Ain't no need to call."
Auntie said, look at Twitter. Was functioning every day and took stuff out. You can be a functioning depressed person. You can. It's possible. And have and be suicidal and all these things. But like I'm saying to FA, I think my point is I feel like if he was suicidal, somebody in his circle would know. Like a friend, a close
I'm saying, yeah, I agree.
girlfriend.
I agree. I think it's more likely. I think it's more probable that a person that is suicidal that they would have shown signs of it before. All I'm saying, I agree with you. I'm just not dismissing the idea of that it may not also not have happened and it still could have been suicidal. He could have not reached out to anybody and he'd still be, suicidal. You know what I
But
mean?
All right. So
why would you
I'm
commit suicide his kids is on a near a football field? Like, why would
I'm
he not
sorry.
do that in his dorm room?
Well, listen, man. Why people do what they do, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's we'll never be able to answer that.
I don't think a black, but being, the culture.
But everybody ain't black. That's black. We got Oreos in our community. You know that. We got Oreos in our community. I
Nope.
know we throw that word around, but we gotta
no,
consider
no. We
that
definitely
we
got
have
Oreos.
Oreos.
Yes, and they Oreos either chocolate on the outside and cream in the middle, or cream on the outside and chocolate in the middle.
And
Either
that's
way, they
why
still Oreos.
we
You know what
ain't
I
never
mean?
as a people because we too damn separate. Anyway, we talk
I
about
will
that.
say this though. I will say this, and this is just me being speaking transparency. Younger, I definitely had suicidal thoughts younger. No one ever knew, and I kept that in, and I hid it from just about everybody. People could tell that something was wrong because my movement was very uh, angry. I was always angry. I fought all the time. You know what I mean? That was my way of being able to cope for that day, not having a
Wow.
full understanding what I was going through. But I've written some. I've actually found one a week ago, of one that I wrote when I was like 13 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So to say that he never had them, we don't know. To
Yeah,
say that if he did have it, and possibly someone never knew because you was able to hide that, but they just looked at you as you just being a troubled teen,
yeah,
especially growing up in New York. That's all of us labeled as, yo, oh, he's just a troubled teen. That's just the environment in New York. And yo, to me, I was living in hell in my younger years.
yeah,
You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Home,
mm, mm.
outside of my block, the whole nine. I just did not want to be here anymore.
yeah.
And it took me building with. I'm about to cry. Hold on. It took me building with some 5 percenters to be able to find self again. You understand what I'm saying? So who knows? Who truly knows?
Whew. I mean, there are people walking around here every day who are dealing with it's heavy. The load is heavy. So I get it. Is Pope said the man's legs was broken. What are we talking about? I cannot break my legs and arms and kill myself. Mama said, what were his movements before this happened? I'm sure there were some signs. Uh,
I
Auntie said
agree.
49 said to you, Auntie said to you, is a Pope 49. Exactly. How is this even possible? Mama said, why not hang yourself in your room or your bathroom by a tree? Auntie said, but baby, we won't know. They will keep it a suicide. And Auntie said, the man represented what the country is now. Yes, he is representing what the country is now. Is the Pope 49 said, the point is, even if you had those thoughts, you're not breaking your legs and arms and then killing yourself. Come on, people.
I agree. I agree with that. So
Yeah,
I think it's difficult to cause that level of pain. But
and
again, I just gotta
and
know
still
what
turn around
break
and hang
means.
yourself. I
Yeah,
mean, regardless of what level of break, full broken contusion or a hairline fracture, whatever, it's still going to be painful regardless. Hell, even if you sprained your arm or your leg bad enough, it would be too painful for one to be able to try to hang yourself and then pull yourself up on the rope. Even
Yeah,
if you, I mean, because if you climb the ladder should still be there. If you was in the chair,
I
the chair
agree.
should still be there.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? If you
You're
use
right.
anything as a prop and jumped off, that should still be there. Now,
100%.
if
I
you don't
agree with
see
that.
nothing there, now they could have just, like you said, the branch could have been strong enough and old enough, the tree could have been old enough, and they just threw that rope and like back in the old
Yep.
days, just
Yep. And just
pulled.
up there. Yep.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Hell, you only need to be 2 inches off the ground as long as your toes can't touch the ground.
Just very sad. We're gonna Trey Reed in our prayers, our thoughts and
It's it's
prayers.
it's truly sad, man. But then I ask the question: are we? I mean, this is all honest. Like we need to ask ourselves as a people: are we truly ready, honestly, open and ready for a race war? Like that's the like for real, for real. These cats over here, man, they've been doing this for centuries. In these backwoods where people thought they wasn't doing nothing, raising cows and cattle and shooting guns every day, all day long in the country.
It'll never happen. That'll never happen, bro. It will
And
never be.
what
It'll
was they
never
doing
be a
over
race
here?
war.
Never. We not ready for that.
No,
We
not
we
only are we not ready for it, it's not about even being ready. One, half black people don't want it. You got, you think that middle class black people want a race war? That's not what they not thinking about no race war. They living comfortably. Two, the low class, the poor black folk. I'm just being 100. Most of them not even educated enough on politics and all that type of stuff to even to be aware of have a race war. Like those
dead
things are
ass.
just not gonna happen. Just
No,
not gonna happen.
that's real talk though. That's dead ass. It is yeah. And
I think
And
FA
I'm not calling
yesterday.
it for it to happen. I'm either, but I'm just saying it ain't gonna happen.
No, I
and
think
I and I and I
I,
say that
I
because I feel like every time I turn around, they're trying to create this quote unquote race war. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? To that way he can enact martial law. And I really feel like he's trying his best to enact martial law. Because at
because
that point, can't nothing happen to him.
there was no reason why HBCUs were threatened because of some men that had nothing to do. HBCUs had nothing to do with this man. Yet we're getting death threats. So I mean, it doesn't make sense. But
It
FA
was
was
it was it was it was your own people on your own side that
right.
unfortunately took that man. Now, when they say the tongue is mightier than a sword and you reap what you sow, I mean, I don't wish death on no one, but damn, my dude, you spoken into existence every single day you opened your mouth.
Right. Um, I think FA is the best, and we might have to have a conversation about this. Are Black people just comfortable with racism?
Come on.
Babe, you hit the nail on the coffin today. Like, just are Black people comfortable in the racism? Hey, Rick, is that you for real? For real?
They
Um,
don't mind racism as long as it don't affect their life directly. They don't mind it.
yeah, I think that's a good topic that we
I
need
mean,
we need to discuss. Hey,
I mean, just look at the picture from yesterday with the two biggest people in the music industry, and you so Brooklyn, you so Marcy, but yet you chilling with Trump, and I mean Trump's wife and their peoples eating good.
yeah,
So you comfortable with what's going on? You
right.
comfortable with this man's rhetoric, and that you gonna chill with his wife and his peoples? Nah, we come from. I'm cut from a cloth. Like yo, if I don't rock with you, and I don't rock with your wife, then we not breaking bread together. We not doing that. So
It's a
I don't know.
it's a Pope 49 said it's a college where where's the camera? I work on a railroad yard. There are cameras everywhere. College institutions have millions of cameras. Exactly. Go run the footage back, okay? Please and thank you. We need answers. Trey Reed, may he rest in peace. Baby Barack said, got to redirect the energy of the gang bangers and black soldiers. We got the power, but lacking direction. Ricky ain't faking here, okay? Okay, Ricky. What up, Spank? All right, got you open ET. Let's do some final thoughts because we did this. Yes, Rick, I'm following your main page.
My
Um,
my 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 only final thought is at some point I really need my people to come together and really like embrace each other like the way we were supposed to and be able to go through this. all honesty, this is an opportunity for us. This is a true opportunity. But we have to be on a collective scale to make this shit happen.
Yeah. Um, the topic today we were talking about that was live from a tree. At Delta University, whatever the college was, but 21-year-old Trey Reed was found unalive hanging from a tree. So the lynching that happened in Cleveland, Mississippi is what we were talking about today. My final thoughts are today. I want to end it on because got you open, ENT. You brought up something very important, which is people and mental health. We are going through some very trying times right now, and everybody is on edge. Okay, check on your folks. Check on your folks is all I can say, because you never know what they got going on, what they going through. People are out here going through it for real, for real. Okay, and may not be saying nothing to you, and may be keeping it bottled up, because everybody got stuff going on. But I would encourage you, if you are going through anything, if you do feel suicidal, please talk to somebody about it. Please go talk to somebody about it, because your mental health is your wealth as well. Everything. Your wealth is your health. So your mental is a part of that. So please, if you are feeling like that, please go seek out and talk to somebody that you trust. Because suicide is.
Oh man, I'll put my number in the comment just in case you feel like you can't talk to your people. You just need to be able
Yeah.
to talk to a stranger. Hell, call me anytime of the hour, man. Just to vent, I will be there.
Please do that. That's good. Got you open. That's
Nah, I'm gonna do that right now. Let me pull
yeah.
over.
Thank you. Baby Rock said final thoughts. Tired of talking about it and so ready to be about it with all the smoke, because it is very necessary. It is, but I feel like it's almost kind of like what FA said. It's people that are comfortable in this racism, including our folks. And I mean, he ain't lying. As long as it's not affecting them, it's cool. As long as it's not in their back door. Ricky said, "Oh yeah, babe. Look, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I would love to see you. Okay, that you are not the real Ricky Smiley. I don't know who you are, but okay. Baby Rock said, and whatever you need, I'm available to talk or blow one with you, my brother. Got you open ENT. All right, y'all have a good day. Okay. We will do this tomorrow. We'll probably be a little bit early tomorrow though, because I have a 2:30 meeting. So we'll probably be back on here about 1:30. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all for y'all. If you haven't followed that YouTube channel yet, go ahead and follow that YouTube channel. I am Dee Parker. IAMDEE Parker. And
All right, dude. Always love. You already know.
appreciate y'all. See y'all
Yeah.
tomorrow.
All right, peace.